All right, let's get our guys in. Our two-time Super Bowl champions, Bryant McFadden, CBS Sports senior NFL writer, Jonathan Jones. B-Mac, look, it's somewhere in the middle. But Dallas won 6 in a row, and then they lost 3 out of 4. Was tonight's Cowboy team closer to the 6 in a row team or the lost 3 out of 4 group?
Closer to the 6 in a row team. And the reason why I say that is because during that winning streak, they were a very, very opportunistic defense. They were forcing turnovers, sacking opposing quarterbacks. And we saw that in tonight's ball game. 4 turnovers they were able to get, 4 interceptions. 1 even was returned for a touchdown. Micah Parsons is becoming one of the best young pass rushers in the National Football League. They're starting to get healthier. And you didn't see a lot from their offense, but you didn't necessarily need to because of how well their defense played.
I'm going to disagree with you here, B-Mac. I think that this is a team that looks closer to the team that lost 3 out of 4. And they were fortunate that they played a Saints team that was missing both offensive tackles and was missing their most important player in Alvin Kamara, that had Taysom Hill coming off of that foot injury, maybe not even 100%, but was still able to rush for more than 100 yards against them when they didn't have any other rushing option. That was the guy you had to stop, and they didn't stop him. Of course, they did get those interceptions. There's no question about that. But I look and I saw Dak Prescott, who was good but not great. I looked at the running game that, that Tony Pollard one that he broke off right there in the face of Marcus Williams. If you take that away, or maybe if he attempts to make a tackle rather than being scared of the cutback and being placed on a top 10 list, that they may not get over 100 rushing yards tonight. And yeah, Micah Parsons was flying around, but I just didn't see a Dallas team that convinced me, hey, this is the team that's going to go to the NFC title game, like I thought in weeks 3, week 4, week 5, when they played Tampa close in week 1, when they beat the New England Patriots earlier on in the season. I saw a team that was very fortunate that they played a lesser opponent and came out of it with a W.
Let's go over to the Saints side of things, because really what you're basically saying is, how much credit are you giving Dallas's defense versus how much are you saying their success was in part because the Saints' skill position guys, I mean, it's not a cast of who's who, and both their offensive tackles were missing. I can see it either way. Now let's go to the Saints. Taysom Hill, we wondered who would he be? Who was he? This is a guy, again, same thing. There was good. Had over 100 yards rushing. Put up 365 total yards. Had 2 touchdowns. And then the bad. Had 4 interceptions. I mean, at times it looked like, hey, they really found something with this guy. He had 75 yards rushing in the 3rd quarter alone. And then there are times I'm looking at him throwing the ball in the 4th quarter. I'm like, yikes, and away. Give me a grade for Taysom Hill tonight, B-Mac.
D. Best grade I can give Taysom Hill is a D. And that second touchdown, let's keep it real. The Cowboys, they took their foot off the gas. They wasn't even really hustling to make the tackle on that last huge touchdown pass by Taysom Hill. Outside of that, yes, he got some yards on the ground, but it wasn't really affecting Dallas like that. The interceptions, I understand he got his finger hit early in the ball game, but some of the interceptions we saw for him was just bad decision making from Taysom Hill. He's not the quarterback that you can rely on to be able to win ball games. And if you don't have a quarterback, I don't care if you're playing in the National Football League, I don't care if you're playing collegiately, high school, or peewee, the field is 150 yards if you don't have a quarterback. And for the Saints tonight, they saw that firsthand because Taysom Hill was clearly off.
Yeah, I'm going to totally agree on this one. I think it was a D. D is in dog. And it was one of those sort of games for Taysom Hill that, you want to explain some things away. Okay, he doesn't have his tackles. He doesn't have Kamara there as a safety valve. All right, that's fine. He also got all the first-team reps this week. He has been with Sean Payton for several years now, and so he had that familiarity. This wasn't new to him. This wasn't, okay, we're going to throw you in, and this is going to be the first time you're getting first-team reps out here. He also did keep his team in it in the 3rd quarter with his legs, no question. But those interceptions, especially the pick 6 to Watkins, that is one that, I mean, you can't give anyone any grade above a C if you throw that pick 6. And then you add in everything else, all the other interceptions, and how, yes, while he kept his team in it with his legs there at the beginning of the second half, he took his team out of it with those mistakes there in the 4th quarter. A D, I think, is a very appropriate grade for Taysom Hill tonight.
I'll go with a C, but a C is not a good grade. So we're all saying it's not nobody's giving him a good grade. 365 yards, couple of touchdowns, over 100 yards rushing, considering a lot of these receivers, nobody knows who they are. The guy who scored the touchdown Lil Jordan somebody.
Humphrey, that is his name. Yeah.
Right, and again, we're talking about a washed-up Mark Ingram, no Kamara. I'd like to see what he can do. Didn't have his tight end, didn't have either starting tackle. I give him a C, but a C's not a good grade. No way am I suggesting
a C is better than a D.
A C's better than a D. I have a little higher grade than you, but no one's put a C on the fridge and putting a little, you don't get the magnet on the fridge.
I don't.
With the C paper.
You didn't grow up in my neighborhood.
You went to UNC. You got good grades. I know that. Now, can I convince you, though, that the Saints are not out of it in the NFC? Right? I mean, the Vikings are in this thing. I know you're shaking your head. No, let me finish. I feel like my cousin Vinny. Let me finish here. Look at their schedule the rest of the way. We got the Jets. You got Miami and Carolina at home. You got Atlanta. I mean, yeah, at Tampa's a bad game, but the other 4 games are very winnable. If I go 3-2, if I go 4-1, I'm going to make the playoffs. In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. Right now, a team with a losing record is the 7 seed. Would they get Kamara back? They are Alvin Kamara away with this schedule for being in this thing. True or false, BMAC?
False. False, false, false. Okay, you travel to the New York Football Jets, right? The New York Jets. They beat Tennessee at home when Tennessee was healthy earlier in the year. And that's the team right there who anything can happen. Then you get Tampa. That's probably a loss. You get Miami, who's really hot right now. That could be a toss-up. And don't forget, the Falcons beat New Orleans already in New Orleans. And the reason why I don't believe they will get into the playoffs, because either if you pick your poison, you take Trevor Siemian or Taysom Hill. It's safe to say when you look at their schedule, we know Tom Brady's a better quarterback than whoever it is New Orleans will throw out there. Miami has a better option. Atlanta, even with Matt Ryan, no offensive line, I think he's a better individual option than whoever the Saints throw out there. And the only quarterback matchup that probably would be in favor of the New Orleans Saints based on their schedule would probably be
Panthers, Jets. Panthers, Jets.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, Taysom Hill did put up 365 and ran for over 100 yards. I'm not saying he was good, but I can't say that he would start for the Jets or the Panthers this week if you had to have it, I would think. But we can. All right, so you're saying they're done. They're done. You're putting them on the done list.
I love their defense.
And
I love their defense.
You're putting them on. That's what I mean with that. They're going to get healthy. You're still putting them on the done list. There's no coming back. You can't change your mind. Once you're out, you're out. To quote whatever it was, with Robert De Niro and Ben Stiller, Meet the Parents.
Meet the Parents,
right.
Yeah.
Once you're out, you're out, Greg. Are the Saints out?
They are not out. If once I'm out, I'm out.
Yes.
I'm not saying that they are out because it is the NFC. Because right now you do have a team with a losing record that is in the wild card. Because last year it was that same team that is currently in the 7th seed in the NFC that won their division with a losing record. I have covered teams that went 2 months without a win and still got into the playoffs. That's the 2014 7-8-1 Carolina Panthers. So I've said before, this team is done. They've gone 2 months without a win, and then they went into the playoffs. So I'm not going to say that about the New Orleans Saints. B-Mac makes a great point. I really do like that defense. I really do like how they are able to stop the run. And if you're able to stop the run down the stretch, that usually, if you're going to turn teams into one-dimensional football teams and offenses, that usually spells good things for you. Taysom Hill cannot turn the football over 4 times. Maybe they have to go back to Trevor Siemian if the point is going to be, hey, we just need to score 17 points. The defense can take care of us, and that's the way that we're going to have to win. But you flash that schedule up there, and yeah, the Jets can beat anybody on a given Sunday, as bad as I do believe that they are. They lost to the Panthers already. They lost to the Falcons already. The Miami Dolphins have won 4 straight. They are looking very hot. By the time they get the Saints, that might be 6 straight that they've won. So all of those things, I don't like New Orleans' schedule moving forward. But when you look at Washington and the Eagles, and the NFC East is going to beat each other up. If San Francisco loses to Seattle this week, a team that has had their number in 14 of the past 16 games, you start looking at the NFC East, the whole NFC and the totality of it. A lot of those teams can beat each other up. And if New Orleans can just sort of stay the course, if they can finish out at 8-9, I don't see why they couldn't be the 7th seed in the NFC.
I think they're going to be 8-9. And again, I don't think they're out until they lose either to the Jets or at home to Miami or Carolina.
If they lose to the Jets, they're out.
Right, I agree.
They're out.
That's what I'm saying. When you show me that loss, either Jets or home to Miami or home to Carolina, then I'll put them on the done list. Until then, I do not have them on the done list. And I actually think they're going to go 3-2 in their last 5. Or, I think they're going to be 3-2 in their last 5. We shall see. And if they get Kamara back, maybe even 4-1. Let's end it this way. BMAC, Dallas is, and fill in the blank.
They're a playoff team. They will get into the playoffs.
That's it. That's all you're giving me.
That's it. They're a playoff team. They will be in the tournament.
Yeah,
that's all I can give you.
They're good, which is basically a synonym for what BMAC is saying. They are a good football team, which means that they will probably win their division, which means that they'll get a home game there in the first week. And then if it's a matchup that suits them well, then all right. Zeke Elliott has to get healthy with that knee. They're going to need him. They can't rely on 60-yard breakoffs by Tony Pollard being the majority of their running game. They're going to need the wide receivers to be healthy and working in concert. They're going to need a more accurate Dak Prescott. They're going to need their defense to play at an average level against better quarterbacks. Today, they got 4 turnovers because they were playing a less than quarterback. When they play a better quarterback, they have to be at least an average unit, the 16th best or 16th worst defense in the NFL.
There you go. So New Orleans has now lost 5 in a row. First time they've done that in a single season in the Sean Payton era. Dallas gets back in the win column, which they needed after losing 2 in a row, including losing at home on Thanksgiving to the Raiders. So, are you missing Jameis? Well, 5-2 with Jameis. And then without Jameis, yikes, 0-5. Now, to be fair, a lot of that is they're giving up more points. Now, they did throw a pick 6 tonight, for example. But they've gone from 25 to 20 points a game, giving up 18 to giving up 30. Yikes. Giving up 30 ain't going to hunt. And again, first 5-game losing streak in a single season since 2005, and that's the year before Sean Payton got there. Why do you watch? Why are we the best? Why is this the preeminent show on planet Earth when it comes to sports wagering? That's why.
That's why.
Go ahead, tell me, give me another show. Any show in the world. Show me any show in the world where every single expert got it right. Go ahead. Let me hear it. You don't have one. You know why? Because that's why you watch us. Boom.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.